All right. Bungie just dropped their This Week in Destiny article, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down everything. We get our first appearance from the Destiny 2 PvP strike team. This will be a cool little tidbit to see what they're trying to do, what they're trying to add to Crucible, because obviously it hasn't gotten much love in several years. On top of that, we get an interview from the world's first Crota raid team, so that'll be a spicy one. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First, they give us a preview of last week and everything they went over, and now we got the topics for this week. First, let's jump into it. We've got the Guardians for Maui. If you want to support this is an amazing cause. The people of Maui got destroyed by this wildfire, and support for them is actually amazing at this point in time. And they got a shirt and an emblem that you get if you do donate to that good cause. Next up, we have the PvP Strike Team. Here we go. We get to hear from them. In case you missed it, Destiny 2's fearless game director Joe Blackburn recently announced some exciting PvP news in a video a few weeks ago. During the video, Joe detailed the ongoing work of the D2 PvP Strike Team, which, in addition to other improvements, will be creating a brand new map pack coming next year. So one of the biggest complaints for PvP players has been the lack of maps, so they're giving us a map pack. We don't know exactly how many maps they're going to give us, but let me know down below, how many maps do you think Bungie's actually going to give us, and how many maps do you think you want? Personally, if I could say, I feel like Bungie probably give us 3 maps, but I feel like they should give us 7 maps. That would be awesome. This week's team goal is to make Destiny 2 PvP experiences more fun for players who enjoy facing off against other Guardians in glorious combat. Our objective is not to increase player numbers by forcing players who don't enjoy these activities to feel obligated to play them, which has been a big complaint for a lot of Destiny players for a long time now. If you're a person that enjoys playing Destiny, you don't want to feel forced into that playlist, into PvP, because honestly, it can be quite unfun at times. Next, we have instead, we want to create fun experiences that entice players who have shied away from Shaxx's calling to dip their toe in. The team has a few changes coming up in the short term and are also working on long-term plans for what other improvements we can make. For example, in today's update, we added a high chance for non-adept Trials weapons to drop from any Trials match wins, which is huge. I love that already. Every time you jump into Trials now, you know if you win the match, 1, you're going to make closer progress towards making it to the Lighthouse, and 2, you're going to have a high chance of a Trials weapon dropping, so that'll give you a much better chance of getting some God rolls, or even just some good rolls of Trials weapons. If you don't like to grind Trials, don't like to grind PvP, at least you get a chance of actually getting something, especially if you win. Our PvP Strike Team wants your input too. We've collected a lot of feedback so far, and we wanted to give you all another opportunity to share your freshest ideas on how you would like to see PvP continue to improve. Here's my idea and my improvement for PvP. Remove AE, because that ever since that has been brought in the game, every hardcore PvP player has not enjoyed that. I personally am not too bothered by it, but it seems to be like the main complaint from the PvP community is remove AE. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that down below. Next up is, as a specific example of what feedback would be very helpful for us, what game modes or rule sets would you be interested in seeing in the competitive playlist? We've set up some collection posts on our Bungie.net forums, Reddit, and Twitter. We value your input as we start to put together additional changes going forward in addition to what we already have planned. So you can give your feedback in the replies on Twitter. I've seen this post, and we'll browse through some of those replies and see what people are saying. Next up, we have right now the new Relic game mode is live in the lab for testing. Another new modifier for multiple modes, Checkmate, is starting up on September 19th. Looking forward to that. These mode tests in Crucible Labs are going to help us evaluate the success of these modes and how they might fit into other playlists in the future. Speaking of other playlists, one thing we are currently working on is a complete restructuring of our current playlist to recreate clear identities and purposes for each playlist. We're looking at everything from which modes and maps are in each playlist and matchmaking tuning to lobby balancing and rotation details. Got it. In addition to the playlists themselves, the PvP Strike Team will be focused on many of the things that touch our Crucible experience, including sandbox balance, spawn issues, rewards, and the addition of quality of life features. As we start to solidify more of our plans, we will share details along the way. Until then, please go share your feedback. Cool. All right, that's our first bit from them, and we get it in the TWID. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. New ritual armor set. This is the apology that Bungie has given us for not giving us the ritual armor set that they promised years ago. So this is what it's going to look like. Let me know. A lot of people have different opinions on this. Some say this is absolutely horrendous, ugly, terrible. They hate it. I think it's, I mean, I'm not going to wear it, but it's not like the worst armor set ever. I feel like they should have given us one that looked really good. That would really impress us. Like one that they knew that was going to make a lot of money from Eververse, let's be honest, right? But instead they kind of gave us one that's, let's just say it's at least mid, right? It's at least mid. I don't think anyone's too crazy about that one. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments though. So that's the armor set you're going to be able to earn from doing strikes, crucible, and gambit. A piece of that armor set will drop from you. Show us those tessellation clips. So what they're trying to do is get everyone to use hashtag TessellationD2 or hashtag Destiny 2 Movie of the Week. And if you share your best tessellation clips, you will win the Movie of the Week emblem. They're going to do a huge compilation of the best clips, and they're going to be featured in next week's TWID, TWAB, whatever you want to call it, right? And so it's a bit of a good promo. It's a subtle promo for, you know, pre-order the final shape. I see you, Bungie, because obviously you can't use the tessellation or get clips with it unless you do pre-order, right? So you can do that though if you want. You want to win Movie of the Week emblem. And the winner is, the last weekend, Guardians entered the world's first raid race and tried to beat CRONUS and claim the raid belt. The winner was obviously Team Elysium, which is SWEATCICLE's team. Previous to that, they didn't win Root of Nightmares, but they did win 3 back-to-back world's first, which was insanely impressive. Had never been done before post-contest mode. So unbelievably impressive. This team is crazy good at PvE. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions of SWEATCICLE because they don't like that he got your divinity nerfed and stuff like that, but we do an actual interview here, and so we're going to read through parts of this and see what they have to say. Congrats on your 4th win. How does it feel to win Destiny 2 World's First Race? Not once, not twice, not 3, but 4 times. SWEATCICLE, very, very good. The moment you kill the final boss while thinking of being the winner and everyone pops off is always awesome. At times, it's almost hard to recognize how crazy what we did is. I find myself thinking, damn, we really won so many titles, and thinking about that makes us proud of us. What kind of preparation goes into getting your raid team ready? Clearly you all have something special with so many wins under that shiny raid belt. Moople says, I think simply being around everyone once the raid race gets closer is what really prepares me, mostly mentally. If we didn't have such a mutual desire to keep going for our wins, I don't think we'd be where we are. I think that's the special string that runs between all of us. The fact that we're also very sure that we are capable of doing it again and again. Nice. They're definitely capable. I mean, no one's winning world's first raid belts like this team, that's for sure. And obviously they're a shoe-in for the final shape. You know, if you're going to place any bets on who's going to get world's first and final shape, I mean, you can look no further, right? Has your goals for winning world's first changed through the years? Do you see yourself stopping anytime soon? Salt, no, competing and possibly winning doesn't get old. Day 1 raids are and will remain the main reason why I love and play Destiny, and no other game offers anything similar. I definitely don't plan on stopping and really hope there are other raids planned for after the final shape. That would be awesome. I kind of wish that Bungie would respond and be like, yeah, we definitely have raids planned for the final shape. But obviously they're not going to give us any hints of that. But I'm sure there will be, of course. Kairos, at first my goal was to complete a day 1 raid because I never completed one for Crown or Garden. Then I placed 2nd in Deep Stone Crypt. After getting 2nd, I knew 1st was definitely possible and I wanted to get 1st. I don't intend on stopping anytime soon. I'll keep placing the best I can. What's the highlight for you and your team when winning something like this? Any pitfalls? Moople, more than anything, the highlight will always be winning pop-offs. I really exploded this time around, but that aside, it's always the pop-offs for any races, even the races we don't win. Nothing brings a bigger smile than hearing that pure excitement and happiness from anyone. That's awesome. Cruz says, the moment we finish, it's just everything. It summarizes the entire feat in one singular moment of pure energy. What's your one tip for world's first attempters to help them pursue their goals of one day taking home that belt? Don't try and beat me. Don't try and beat SWEATCICLE. Just kidding. Don't even try it, bucko. That's their advice. That would be funny if they said some shit like that. They would be too nice, though. Vile Fate, my one tip to others trying to go for world's first is always make sure you're playing with people you're good friends with and who have similar goals. If you listen to our world's first clears, you'll definitely hear us yelling at each other, but no one on the team takes them too personally, since we all know we have each other's best interests in mind. Since we're already all very close friends, nothing is taken personally, and we continue focusing on the race. In my opinion, playing with people who could have this dynamic is very important when competing in any competition. In addition to this, always remember that the main point of these races is to have fun. This is something that only comes around twice a year, so you have to remember to enjoy yourself, even if some parts of it may be frustrating. Woo. It only used to come around twice a year. Bungie currently said they have no plans for a reprise raid in the final shape year, so I'm worried that it might be a once-a-year event. We'll see. What was your favorite moment from the reprisal of Crota's End? Did the challenge satisfy that urge for an earned clear? Moople, the reaction of Death Singer is probably my favorite. It's a fantastic fit for Crota's End and keeps the pace going. I think to have a soft spot for the fully recreated encounters like Gatekeepers and Bolts of Blast is the reprised raids. The difficulty of this raid was so much more in line with what I want from races in terms of encounter design, making sure everyone has to pay attention on some level, and the mechanics in tandem with the combat difficulty, forcing that feeling of everyone needing to be involved. Yeah, I agree with that. Kairos, my favorite part of the raid was being the only person with the sword versus all the gatekeepers at the end of the normal mode bridge. Everyone was just yelling at me to keep going, and I'm just laughing as I'm defeating the gatekeepers one by one. What was the hardest part of the raid for you and your team? Most frustrating, most rewarding? Quaz says, I'd say the hardest part of the bridge challenge. We took quite a long time to figure it out, and I believe we should have picked it up on it sooner. By far the most frustrating part was us failing 2 final stands against Crota on challenge mode that I believe we should have been able to beat, which nearly cost us the race, and winning is the most rewarding. Nice. Cruz, I would say that the most difficult part was either figuring out the bridge challenge. Bridge was tough. We were stumped on the bridge for a long time. Crota during final stand on the challenge mode runs as well. Both were frustrating as I believe we should have solved the challenge of bridge quicker than we did, and both wipes of Crota's final stand had some bad luck to it. I'd say the most rewarding was completing the challenge mode run without losing the lead, as it's, in my opinion, the toughest aspect of winning a reprised day 1 raid. Any final thoughts as you await the 4th belt to join that impressive collector's shelf? Salt says, thanks to everyone on my team for allowing me to live this awesome journey. Love you guys, and thanks Bungie for continuing to make the game we all love. After seeing this reprisal, I'm very excited for the final shape and what's looking forward to you guys have in store. Above all, massive thank you to my team and to Bungie for putting the raids in the position they are. I went from never racing to now feeling like I can't experience these races without the mindset I have now. Here's to the final shape and finally taking on the Witness. Cool. And then we got the player support report where they go through various different issues in the game and issues that they're going to be fixing very soon. And then we got some art here, and someone did a marathon trailer, but it's Destiny. This is too good. Love this. That's excellent. That's movie of the week. And that's a wrap for this week's TWID. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you think about the PvP strike team? Do you think they're going to do good things for the community? What do you think about the world's first interview and the world's first raid race? That's a wrap. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Later.